and we're gonna have a little chat. Okay, so I have been in a little bit of a funk. You know, I think it comes with winter. I think it's just kind of part of the process, but I have like my little list of things that I do when I'm not feeling great and I want to feel better. And today I listed them all out and I've decided to do them all in one day, which I've definitely never done that. Usually I pull one of these tools here and there just to kind of perk up my life for a little bit of moment of a day, but we're gonna make the whole day about getting out of a funk. First things first, we're gonna have coffee and then we're going to brain dump a little bit. So brain dumping is what I do when I'm feeling really overwhelmed or stressed out and my brain is just moving 1,000 miles a minute and I need to get those thoughts out of my head, get those worries out of my head so I can sleep or focus or do something that I need to be doing that my brain is distracting me from with all of the concerns and fears and worries. So I'm going to brain dump. The other big priority for today is drinking a lot of water. Usually a lot of times when I'm in a funk, it's because I'm not hydrating. So I have my water bottle and we're drinking the whole thing today. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. Today it's gonna be a big priority. So we're gonna start with a glass of water and some journaling. Cheers. Okay, so we have brain dumped. Honestly, that exercise is so helpful, not only just in like getting all of the stress out of your mind so you can like use your brain for other things, but I also realized in doing it that it helps me with compassion for myself, because when you really write down everything that you're holding, like everything that you're just trying to like carry with your mind, you realize like, oh yeah, of course you're tired. Like, of course you feel not your best. Like, this is a lot. I know a lot of you can relate to this. I think I have the tendency to really downplay my stress and to be like, I'm stressed, but like I shouldn't be. I should be stronger than this or something. But when you really look at things, you're like, oh yeah, that's a lot. And if someone else were like, hey, here's my list of things that I'm worried about right now, you'd be like, that's a lot to hold, and you'd love them through that better. So that was pretty helpful. Now I'm going to do the next couple of things on the list, which are intentional movement that just feels really good on your body. I'm gonna do some yoga. And then also, I'm not a big music person. Like I'm not the kind of person who just has music playing all the time. So on the days where I really need to get out of a funk, a lot of times music is what I need. So I'm gonna put on some intentional music throughout the day, but right now I'm gonna put some on for yoga. So let's drink some more water before we start. Okay, I feel a little bit like I cheated with yoga because it's something I do every day and I kind of do it mindlessly and it's almost just like a maintenance piece. But when I thought about what is a way to move my body that feels really good, it's honestly yoga. That's what I want. That's what my body loves. So I don't know. But it's not necessarily like, oh, this is gonna switch up my habits, get me out of my rut. But it felt good. It's what I wanted. So the next thing on the list is to make a nourishing meal for myself. I like to think about, like, really like kind of pause for a second and think about, what does my body want today? What would feel really nourishing? And then even to think about, what are each of these ingredients doing for my body? Like, okay, if I'm gonna make eggs, are those eggs going to give me energy? Are they going to make me give me the protein that I need to have energy for the day? And, you know, is this vitamin C that's going to make me feel like I can fight off diseases, blah, blah, blah. So anyway, I am going to make a nourishing meal and really be intentional about everything that I put in my body this morning for breakfast. scramble. We have broccoli, tomatoes, jalapeno, onion, garlic, a little bit of cheese, some sriracha on an English muffin. So excited. I'm gonna look up intentionally what each of these little things do for your body, how they're nourishing me, because I think that's part of being intentional with creating a meal for yourself that feels nourishing, is like really honoring food as fuel and as like a part of what makes us up. Okay, so let's talk about what was in this meal and kind of what it looks like in terms of how it benefits your body. This is a practice that I find helpful, partially also because like I come from a background, if you're like me, I come from a background where food was kind of treated as an enemy. As little food as possible is the right amount of food, and we're supposed to reject food, not want food, not desire food. You know, when you have that struggle with restrictive eating and feeling like eating is bad and wrong, then it's really helpful to look up like what it's doing for our body. So I will share with you the ingredients from today's breakfast. Sriracha. If you want to warm your body and improve the flow of blood from the heart to the points throughout the body, eat sriracha. The same garlic and capsaicin duo that helps blood clots disappear also help keep the blood flowing naturally, according to a report from the American Chemical Society. English muffin is a high fiber, low fat option with calcium, phosphorus, magnesium, and selenium. They're rich in unprocessed fiber, magnesium, zinc, potassium, vitamins E and B6, and they may lower the risk of heart disease and stroke. Feta contains more calcium than many other cheeses. Calcium helps you maintain healthy teeth and bones. Jalapenos are rich in vitamin A and C and potassium. They also have carotene and antioxidant that may help fight damage to your cells, as well as folate, vitamin K, and B vitamins. Many of their health benefits come from a compound called capsaicin. That's what makes the peppers spicy. Garlic. The combined effects on reducing cholesterol and blood pressure, as well as the antioxidant properties, may reduce the risk of common brain diseases like Alzheimer's disease and dementia. Garlic contains antioxidants that protect against cell damage and aging. Onions contain antioxidants and compounds that fight inflammation, decrease triglycerides, and reduce cholesterol levels, all of which may lower heart disease risk. Their potent anti-inflammatory properties may also help reduce high blood pressure and protect against blood clots. Parsley is a versatile herb that provides a concentrated source of nutrients. It's particularly rich in vitamins A, C, and K. The vitamins and beneficial plant compounds in parsley may improve bone health, protect against chronic diseases, and provide antioxidant benefits. Tomatoes are the majority dietary source of the antioxidant lycopene, which has been linked to many health benefits, including reduced risk of heart disease and cancer. They are also a great source of vitamin C, potassium, folate, and vitamin K. Broccoli is a good source of fiber and protein and contains iron, potassium, calcium, selenium, and magnesium, as well as vitamins A, C, E, K, and a good array of B vitamins, including folic acid. Not bad. Finally, eggs are a good source of inexpensive, high-quality protein. More than half the protein of an egg is found in the egg white, which also includes vitamin B and lower amounts of fat than yolk. Eggs are a rich source of selenium, vitamin D, B6, B12, and minerals such as zinc, iron, and copper. So good. So now I feel like, oh, I just put so much good stuff in my body. I took care of myself. I feel loved. And we are going to move on to the next point, which is to read an inspiring book or a book that makes you feel good. I am currently reading through the 12 Secrets of Highly Creative Women. I wouldn't say this is the best book I've ever read. Like, it's not the worst either, but I am getting some really good things out of it. So I'm gonna take some time to sit and enjoy the book, drink some more water, and feel inspired. Okay, so I'm going to read you a little bit from this book that really I found really interesting. And she said, but there's a psychic level of apprehension. Like, some of the women I've interviewed have always sensed the presence of an unconscious, deep awareness of the danger of true self-expression for women. After all, our female ancestors were burned and murdered for their intuitive, creative, and healing powers. I do believe that we women have a shared legacy of anxiety about becoming too influential and then being attacked. As Naomi Wolf says in her important book, Fire with Fire, in women, powerlessness has been sexy for a long time. That was really interesting to think about. Like, science has shown us that we do carry the trauma of our ancestors in our DNA, and so it's interesting to consider just the danger that our ancestors felt in speaking up and being self-expressive, and how that could impact our experience with that as well. I don't know. I thought it was fascinating. The next thing we're going to do is a thing that I do when I'm feeling anxiety or I'm having a hard time being fully present, and that is a 5 senses practice. I do this with our little all the time too. He's having a hard time like falling asleep or something, and that's just to look for something positive that I see, feel, taste, smell, and see, smell, taste, hear, and feel. So right now, I'll do smell first. I smell coffee. I taste sriracha. I hear my husband in class over there, and that feels exciting because I know that's important to him. I feel the coziness of my sweatshirt, and I see this plant I repotted the other day. This guy in particular is making me happy. Okay, next I'm going to move into some meditation and self-holding techniques, which is really just kind of a way to self-comfort. There's like tons of graphics for this, like on Pinterest, or even like people do TikToks about it. So basically you just kind of like hold yourself in like really specific ways, and it's really soothing and comforting. So we're going to go to the bedroom and do that. You know, I think doing all of these things is so beneficial in a lot of ways, but one of those being it increases your confidence and your self-trust because you feel like I'm doing everything I can, and therefore like I can feel good, like I deserve to feel good, if that makes sense. Meditation is one of my favorite things in terms of getting out of a funk or in terms of self-care in general, because it creates so much more space between your thoughts, your feelings, and your actions, so that it bleeds into everything. So like the rest of the day, typically I have more space, more self-forgiveness, more forgiveness for other people. It just uncomplicates a lot of my inner experience. So I love it, and it just like soothes your nervous system. Like I feel so much more relaxed right now, even after just doing a quick 5-minute meditation. I'm going to pull up the self-holding techniques and we will go through those as well. On self-holding just now was describing it as something from Peter Levine, a specific teacher who developed these for trauma, for like trauma patients. It feels so soothing just doing it, and apparently you're supposed to do them just until you notice a release or relaxation. This one had a couple of different ones, right? You saw me do those like this, here, and then here. I've also done this one a lot. This is kind of the one I always do, and it just feels, yeah, super comforting and soothing and relaxing. So now we are going to drink some more water and clean up something small. I actually think I'm going to clean up a couple of things. So, cleaning montage. Here's the reveal of the junk drawer. All right, everyone, I have done some light cleaning. That's an important piece of the process because it makes you feel like you've accomplished something. Your space feels nicer, so then it's just having a nice space is a nice feeling, right? And ignore the sounds in the background. They're happy sounds because my husband is cleaning out the drain of the tub. And he's doing it even though it's my hair that's clogging it up. I'm going to do a little bit of work, but then I will pop back for our next one in just a bit. Okay, next on the list is make something or get creative. And I've actually been, for the month of April, I've decided to write a poem a day. And so I'm just going to do that right now. I'm gonna sit down and write a poem, see what comes out. Some days they're terrible, some days they're good. We don't know what this one's gonna be. I don't know if it's a good one or a bad one. And in the darkness, I caught a shimmer. I held it and tended to it until it became the sunshine I'd been looking for all along. Okay, the next one is to get dressed up a little bit. I feel like it's helpful when your insides feel funky to kind of work on your outsides through cleaning or organizing something, but also sometimes for me it's getting dressed up. I don't like to feel obligated to get dressed up. And honestly, sometimes wearing sweats and feeling like I have the permission to wear sweats is also a form of like feeling good and feeling like I'm taking care of myself. So we each have our own way. Maybe for you it's getting really cozy. For me today, I was getting a little bit dressed up. So I'm going to put on a little bit of makeup, do my hair, pick out an outfit. A way that I've been doing my makeup lately that's like really easy is just putting a little bit of Ilia skin tint on like my spots that I want to cover up, which really for right now is my chin for some reason. Okay, so we'll do this. And it's like super light coverage, but still makes me feel like something's going on there, you know? In a positive way. It's not the cutest light, but I need it. I'm gonna use a little bit of Glossier skin tint just on my under eye. And because this guy's like nice and cute, I'm just gonna do like a little bit of extra concealer there. This is the NARS Radiant Concealer. It's the MAC blush in Melba. And then I'm going to use the Glossier Boy Brow in Auburn, just to kind of quickly do my brows. And then finally I'm gonna put on a bold lipstick because that always makes me feel real fancy. This one is Maybelline Superstay Matte Ink in the color Heroin. Honestly, I think for my hair today, I'm just gonna do bangs. And I don't even know if I'm gonna do that, but we'll see. I'm gonna bring them down and see if we can work with them. So I am fully dressed. This sweater is from American Eagle. This skirt is from Nuuly. Shoes are from Birdies. It's not like the fanciest outfit, but I feel cute in it and that's what matters. Yeah. Okay, so that is that for getting dressed. Let's see what's next is to write a 10 good things list. So a 10 good things list is really simple. It's just a gratitude list where you write down 10 good things, the first 10 good things you can think of. I find this really helpful because it puts me in the mindset of gratitude, but without all of the fanciness about it. I have a whole video on it. We'll try and link it here. You guys can watch it. But you know, it's just a simple way to revisit what you love about everyday life. So I will write that. Okay, so I'm going to read to you my 10 good things list, starting with the bonus one, which is what you can probably hear the sound of my husband doing dishes, which means he's doing our dishes. How sweet. Okay, so 10 good things. Number 1, leftovers for lunch, long-lasting lipsticks, meditation, being hydrated, nail polish, journaling prompts, getting good breaths. I'm having a kind of a rough lung day, so you can get a really good breath. The best. Random acts of kindness, cozy sweaters, and reading poetry in the morning. My 10 good things list. Let me know a good thing in the comments below, something in your life that's simple but good. And we are going to move on to our next one, which is going to take us on a bit of a field trip, and I'll see you in the car. Okay, so we are in the car. Obi is going on our little field trip with me. The next thing on the list is to do something that you've been putting off. For me, that is getting the oil changed in my car. I do not want to do it. So we're gonna go do that today, and I feel so good. I'm gonna feel like something is taken off of my mental to-do list. Okay, so the car is nice and oil changed, and we are going to do the next thing, which is doing something nice for someone else. So we're gonna go do something nice for someone. He feels like he's gonna get in trouble. We're dropping cupcakes off at our friend's house for their birthday. Happy birthday. We love you. Okay, so we've done a nice thing for someone else, and now it is time for us to do something indulgent for ourselves. So we're gonna go get a fancy coffee drink. Yay! So I came home and put closey clothes back on because that's when I want time to drink my drink. While I have my coffee, let's chat about a couple of the other ones that I had on my list. I was just crying, not because I'm sad, but because I watched a YouTube video from Jen M about getting pregnant. It was just so sweet, and it got me feeling feels. Okay, so 2 of the things I had on the list today were to go on a walk and to spend some time in nature. Those things are things that are awesome for me to do on a days when I need to get out of a funk. Usually actually those are like the fastest way for me to get out of a funk. I'm actually like not a particularly outdoorsy person, but there's just something to it that like is undeniable. Like if I even just going to sit at the lake or the park can really do a lot for my mental health. However, it is a really cold day outside right now, and my lungs are like struggling today. So it just wouldn't be very kind to do that to myself. So I'm not gonna do that. But if that was not the case, then that is what I would be doing. On the way home from our little adventure, we did drive by the lake near our house and kind of took some time to look at that, so I'll insert that footage, and then we'll also insert footage from another walk that I did in our neighborhood recently. Typically what those things offer me are just time to myself, time for clarity, remembering that I'm so small in the grand scheme of the whole universe, just feeling connected to something bigger than me. But yeah, what we have left for today was also, I'll tell you about this one as well, was to really look for a moment of sweetness. When we talk about looking for a moment of sweetness, what I mean is intentionally spending the day in preparation for there to be a sweet moment that you are keeping your eyes open for. This is so helpful for me when I'm wanting to be out of a funk, because when I'm in a funk, I'm really looking for evidence that like things are bad and I'm not doing well. When I want to get out of a funk, if I can kind of switch that mindset to looking for proof that like people are good, the world is good, life's gonna be okay. My moment of sweetness today was actually when we were pulling out of our friend's driveway. A woman was like driving by and passed, and I smiled at her and she just like lit up. And I just thought about how special it is that we can not only communicate kindness from that far away without even like engaging with each other or speaking to each other, but also that like joy and smiling, like it's a contagious thing. And someone that I will never know probably brought a smile to my face today, and I was able to bring a smile to her face, and I think that's really sweet. The next thing is to really truly notice something. So to like take time to really look at something in detail and really pay true deep attention to it. I'm going to notice actually a couple of things. We're gonna like take some time and really pay attention to some stuff. drink some more water, and I have about 2 more glasses after this, and then I'm done with water for the day. Probably not really done with water, but I've met my quota. The next and last thing I'm gonna do to get myself out of a funk is to take a bath. For me, it's either a bath or a shower. Either one does the trick, but I think tonight, I don't really have any, I'm not in a hurry, so yeah, I'm just gonna take like a nice bath, use a bath bomb and read. I think that'll be a good little respite. So I'm gonna go do that, and then we're gonna end the vlog. This is the last time I'm gonna talk to you in the vlog, guys. I'm just gonna enjoy the bath, read my book, finish my water, and then we'll call it on our video for today. I hope this was inspiring for you to do some of the same. There's absolutely no expectation that this is the kind of thing you should do all of in one day, but maybe it gives you some ideas of things you can add to your toolbox if you have 5 minutes or 10 minutes and you just need a little bit of a self check-in. Or maybe it sounds fun to you to do what I did today. I actually had a really good time doing this. It felt like really self-indulgent in a healthy, happy way. I appreciated having an excuse to do that, and I'm giving you an excuse to do it too. All right, see you guys in the next one. Bye.